might actually get the stream started now. That took way too long. YouTube decided it want to work from it then. Right. Are we going to get started 8 o'clock? Sorry. Guess we can wait and see on that front. Oh, Ishmael's here. Wow. Ishmael did make it. So we'll have 13. At this current point. We're actually going to get a decent amount of people. Considering earlier on it looked like the race was going to be sub 10, so we are quite lucky to have a decent amount of people here for this one. Have that all ready to go when it needs to be. Are we getting Greater Singapore? Also, we've got a couple of couple of things not to be decided today, but couple of things where the results can swing the championship today, because a mistake from either one of the top two drivers. Well, realistically, we're getting to the point where mistakes are punished, regardless of what you do. After Abu Dhabi, the gap between Mitchell and BR4 sits at 7. I mean, technically, a couple guys behind can still win the championship, but it would take a miracle from here. As for the constructors is 3 points the difference. So there's still like 3 or 4 teams in with a shout at that winning the championship. But let's get going. It looks like we're going with 14. We're going to get started. Check if the YouTube stream is working. My YouTube decided it didn't want to it didn't want to do anything normally. Just double check if it's playing back to me. Yep, it is doing as it was. So, stream it up. Race is about to get underway. 14 people. But yeah, here we go. Ishmael's in holding us up for a minute there, but we're going to head into wet qualifying. That is hello. Good evening. 16 in Tier 3 and hello, rain in the qualifying. I'm going to try and get this up now and see if it's rain in the race. YouTube, whatever's happening to the YouTube stream, it's lagging so far behind. But it looks like people are setting up to go. Rain is not expected for the race. So it's dry in the race, wet in qualifying. Well, I think the first person out is Audacity. Audacity, yeah, he is indeed. Full track map at the bottom. So we get an idea of who's coming out and when. Got 2 Red Bulls, 2 Alfa Romeos, 2 Ferraris, 2 Haas as well. So all of the top 4 when it comes to constructors are still here. Still raring to go. And as for the championship, Drivers' Championship itself, well, Mitchell versus BR4, it's the same as it has been for the last few weeks. Mitchell currently on top. And the way practice has been going, Mitchell has possibly a 6/7/10 advantage over BR4 on this track. And Mitchell's going to watch this back and hate the fact that I'm bringing up the fact that he should be able to bring this one. He should be able to have the decent advantage in this one anyway. He's under all the pressure today. It's not one that BR4 expects to gain points from, so it's all on Mitchell today. We'll see what times everyone's doing as we go along. The wet is a great equalizer though. First person to do a lap is going to be Audacity, but Alu closely behind. I think that's Skildy, the third man on the track, and then BR4 following it. And here we go. Here comes the first lap of the day in the drizzle at Singapore. It goes into turn 1. Let's have telemetry on. Up in 4th gear. Keeping himself in 4th gear for as long as possible. Down to 4th, and then down to 3rd, sorry, then back up to 4th almost immediately. He goes through into turn 4 now, I'm pretty sure. 3 or 4. 4 or 5, sorry. Depends if you want to count that kink in the middle there between where the DRS activation is. Why did it need to rain? What's the point? Good question. But it's to make you all suffer. At least it's only 18 minutes of it though. It's dry in the race, so you get away with it. You're not here for 4 hours trying to sit yourself through a rainy race at Singapore. Here, because Audacity is still going strong on his lap. Not invalidated it. Not hit a wall either. So it's probably going to be pretty common here. The wall is never anyone's best friend, and street circuits are ones where they're usually causing the most carnage. 144.46 through the second sector for Audacity. We are going through the 3rd sector now with Audacity. Goes into the drive for a little bit until the spray kicks back up. Goes through the 2nd to final corner now, riding that curb. Very surprised he actually chose to take that direction. And over the line, the first benchmark is going to be a 153.4. It looked like Alu's had a problem. Let's see what scale he's doing. 153.4, the current time to beat. He hasn't done that. He's done well to get himself within a... Oh, he's lost the car a little bit there at the end. And BR4 53.6. So, a little bit of work to do for a few people. Blood Wave over the line, 53.7. Mitchell over the line. Let's see. What is Mitchell going to be doing? 53, 53.9. It's definitely a great equalizer, the rating. Unlike practice earlier on, that means Mitchell isn't going to be reliant on a banker lap to get himself onto pole this time. Jaguar, 54.7. Swen, 55 flat. 54 flat. Bloodwave out of the session entirely. Had a bit of a problem there, and wow, that's his car's piling against the wall there. So that's Bloodwave out of the session. Bambino 53, 433, which is enough for second, ever so slightly behind Audacity, who currently sits himself on top of the tree at the moment. Yalo validated his run, and Heisenberg's going at the moment. So Bloodwave out of the session. The Wolves at Singapore already claimed one victim. They haven't even hit the first 10 minutes of qualifying yet. Heisenberg 55-1. Yellow invalidated his lap, so he's going to have to go again. Looks like he's still invalidated. Yellow flag in sector 2. It's McLaren letting someone through. Alu's already invalidated his lap as well. Invalidations galore over here. Anyone going for anything? Nope. Mitchell isn't going for anything either. Oh, Mitchell is going for something. Going around the final corner now. 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 1. That's enough. So it's 2.5 tenths of power, quarter of a second there on pole. Yellow flag in sector 3. McLaren again is not having a nice time at the moment. It looks like Rigo's going to go finish off the lap, see what he can put up. 51, 52, 53. Oh no, it's 52.9. And you can tell the track getting better. Like someone else came over the line there. Alo's invalidated, Yalo's invalidated. Fishmel on an outlap. What's Geldy doing? I'm not entirely sure, but there's a bunch of people now setting themselves up. Whether it be for another lap or go to the pits or whatever. We'll wait and see. But it's Rigo currently sitting on top of the tree. I did a 53.3. 3.86. Wow, we missed a couple of people going over the line. Looked like someone else went over the line as well. Not entirely sure if that lap was an improvement though. Scaldy's still going through. Got BR4 on that lap as well. Ishmael on that lap. Got a few people going for it at the moment. The YouTube comments just having a stroke on me right now. Scaldy 54, 55, 55.1. Still the slowest of the guys that have done a lap, but nonetheless able to do something close to the rest of the grid. Oh, Ishmael having a little bit of a slide there on the tyres. So yeah, watch him go through the second sector now. Up to the line is a 52. Probably going to be somewhere in the 54s or something like that, I think, this lap for Ishmael. Jaguar's coming out now. I think someone else is also coming out at the same time. Looks like it's probably Swen. Oh, that's his already on a outlap. Here comes Ishmael over the line. 54 flat. Okay. I thought it would be a 54. I didn't think it'd be that close. Alu 44, 45 goes up to the final corner. He's currently doing a bit quicker, I think, than Rigo and that would doing. Oh, no, never mind. 54 flat again. He's still a little bit slower than Ishmael, but not a lot. Yellow over the line, 54.9. A lot to improve. We're going to let people through. Here comes Heisenberg and actually we'll watch. Oh, it's a validated lap there for Bambino. I'm pretty sure he's not going to go to the pits, and he's what, more than half a second up. Into the 54 he goes, 54.3. He's moved up into 11th. Alu 1 second down. I think, yeah, Jaguar's the next one over the line, but he does an outlap, so won't really matter. We've got BR4 and Heisenberg at the moment going on, and well, the next lot over the line to go on for their laps. BR4 currently a 10th and a half quicker than his best time, which isn't even enough to shift him up more than one position, so BR4 looks bound to 6th at the moment. As we go along, that might change. Gonna go through the final sector though. Still has time to gain there, maybe to get in front of Audacity and Bambino. Couple of people at the back there just trying to get through without impacting each other's laps by the looks of it. BR4 around the final corner, 51, 52. It's enough to be on provisional pole, that final sector. He gained so much time. What about Heisenberg? Heisenberg coming into the pits. Is that Alu next, who is going to come into the pits. And it's followed by Yarlo, who's a half second up. And he's going to go into the 54 ones, pushing them up. And Audacity, 52.5, enough to take back pole. Over the line. Not really able to do an awful lot there. Mitchell, same goes for him. And oh, that's invalidated for Mitchell there. I'm still going. I look for people to get close to the line. Skelding's coming into the pits. Swed's invalidated in lap, so he'll go for one more. I'll actually have a look at Rigo, who's actually invalidated lap. Why can't people keep their laps valid, sorry. Actually, hold on, Rigo. We'll watch his next lap as well. See Mildy put Rigo, my champion, in the thing. Rigo 52.9 currently. Bambino's took a 52.908, so slightly slower. Pretty much right in the middle of Rigo and BR4. He's currently sat third, and a few of the guys have to get a move on. 52.9 here for Jaguar. The track is most definitely getting better, so maybe a new set of tyres for some people might be a good idea. Bearing in mind it's going to rain for it's raining for qualifying, it is not raining for the race. Still a few people trying to get themselves in for either into the pits to get themselves onto a new set of tyres quickly or on for a lap, and well, that's Rigo invalidated his lap. Audacity into the pits. Bambino invalidated his lap. Let's have a look at Swen. Swen's going, he's 1.5 seconds quicker at the moment, so he'll drop himself into the low 53s, maybe beside Herb. Maybe push himself up to 7th here, Swen. Currently sits at the back of the pack in the 55s. We'll wait and see, because round the second to last now, and then round the final corner. Up to the line, he needs to get more of that curb. But he's going to do a 52.9 even. Identical time to Jaguar. Mitchell currently on a lap. There's 3/10 of a second he has at the moment. He's already with the 3/10 of a second up beside BR4. So he's ahead of Bambino, so he's currently in third. It's going on there between Jaguar. Jaguar's going slower. So he's going to come into the pits, and I think that's Heidelberg behind him. Should we watch Heidelberg, the end of Heidelberg's lap? No, he won't because he's 2 minutes in. Well, Mitchell still going on then as he heads through Sector 2. Can he keep it going? A lot of pressure on the championship leader today, considering this is his favourite track and one that he thought he would have won. But here we go into the final sector now. Currently on a quick lap. Is it quick enough to put himself on provisional pole? And people behind him can have another shot at it. Because it sure is Mitchell's last attempt, pretty much. This and the... Well, he might get one more attempt if he saved enough ERS. He's going to go around the final corner now, 48. So he's a second up on his last lap. Around this corner, 51.7. That's 8 tenths. 8 tenths of a second. Alu looking like he's going to try and make a charge here or not. 3 minutes 37. He's going to go for a last lap here. What's happening to behind? Ishmael currently on a 3 minute lap as well. So something clearly... Oh, 1 minute 50. What the hell has happened there? It's a 3 minute on lap there, to be honest with you. Audacity's on a out lap at the moment. It looked like Swen went 7th and is about to do another lap now. Whereas that's Rigo behind him. That is Rigo behind him. Well, actually watch Rigo. I haven't watched an awful lot of Rigo because he keeps invalidated whenever I try to go to him. So we'll go and have a look. Currently you've got no fastest sectors for Mitchell, who sits himself 8 tenths of a second clear of everyone else. If people over the line now to say do their laps. It looks like that was Heidelberg, 52.928. Up to 50 goes. Realistically, last shot for some people. 26 seconds, and realistically, anyone until that Ferrari is not going to be able to get to that line. Very much doubt if that Ferrari is able to get to that line. Ferrari's absolutely not getting to the line. Even those Haas are only just about scraped to the bottom of the barrel there. So we're on the final laps of people now. Jaguar's final lap is done. He did a 52.971. Over the line, Mitchell 50.8. 50.8. The track has ramped up very clearly. And somebody got to find 1.5 seconds here. Or over 1.5 seconds. It's more toward 2 seconds if they want to really challenge him here. Alu, 52.4, jumps up to second for the moment in time. And everyone that goes over the line now is going to be jumping up. That's Ishmael over the line. 52.1 is enough for second at the moment. Over the line goes Swen. And he does a 52.4. Here comes Rigo, the guy we've been watching. 50. 51.1 is enough for second. We'll watch BR4 now over the line. Has he got enough? He got enough to take provisional pole at the very least at the moment. I think the only one that can take it realistically from him at this point has to be Audacity. We'll watch Heidelberg go over the line. But it's 1-2 for the two championship protagonists as it stands. 51.0 for Heidelberg. Next one over the line is our resident Williams driver. Audacity's put a couple provisional pole laps in so far. Maybe just to play spoiler here to BR4 and Mitchell. Over the line goes Audacity in pole position. Unless someone else can do something about it. And Khan is 50 flat. And he's done it. I think he's done it. Has ended up on pole. And it's crucial that you went toward the end. And I think the track ramped up right at the end there and then went straight to banging it down. But is going to be the one that sits himself on top of the tree. He sits himself on pole position. That just happened. One after another, the track ramping up, and it was just a case of who was out last. Bambino gets himself in second, 0.183. Audacity third. They both did a 50.28, and those two might be interesting when it comes to dry racing for the actual race. BR4 has the upper hand on Mitchell in the intermediate tyre weather here in qualifying. Championship leader starts 5th. His championship rival starts 4th. The gap currently sits at 7 points, and whether or not that could change, we're about to find out over the next 31 laps. Our qualifying just went from one end to the other and swung right back the entire time. And now we get to watch 31 laps of racing around Singapore in the dry. And the possibility of some people having a real chance of pulling an upset. On my screen over here, it looks like these it's still raining underneath these front wings. I think that's just a visual glitch though. Got a formation lap, so we'll watch the formation go round as Erminator sits himself on pole. How long he can keep himself there is up for debate, but he really does like this kind of country for his racing. Oh, but he's crashed on the formation lap. I mean, I guess if you're going to crash, the formation lap is probably the best time to do it. But talk about a jinx if I've ever seen one. I talk about how he likes his racing in these kind of countries, but for him to put it in the wall almost immediately. Bambino currently sits second, filled out the front row beside the spinning Mercedes. Audacity sits himself in third. Sits himself on the second row. Thought he could have done a little bit better than that, but oh, a couple of people disqualified. Ishmael and Swen hitting each other, and well, the cold tyres are not going to help them, especially if they've started on the hards. Which they haven't, they started on the medium. Jaguar on the soft, so can only assume that's a soft hard strategy incoming for him. Bloodway starts on the hards. Erminator and Bambino also on the hard. Same with BR4 and Rigo. So few people opted for the alternate strategy. Most on the medium tyre, sorry. You've got BR4 in second row behind Audacity. And well, currently with a upper hand in the race, in this particular race anyway, as he tries to close in on Mitchell for the championship. This would be a really, really good race for BR4 to close in on, because this is Mitchell's favourite track, so you would expect him to be relatively strong around it. You've got the Alfa Romeo currently here that sits alongside Mitchell on that third row. Maybe a bit of team play to happen in this particular race. We'll wait and see. Erminator just got disqualified from the session for jumping his grid box. You see Heidelberg is pointing himself right toward Mitchell. He knows who he's going to try and cover off almost immediately. Good start needed for the Ferrari here. Here we go. That's 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, away we go. Who's going to get the better start? It looks like the Mercedes on fire. The Mercedes had a freeway into the first corner here. The Mercedes is going to come out on top. Bambino and Audacity are going to fight it, but Audacity wins that one. Allo and Ishmael to the back. Looks like Scaldy has just dropped a few positions as well. Yarlo gains the position on 2. One on Mitchell, one on Heidelberg, which is good news for BR4, but Yala looks like he's going to be straight after the Alfa Romeo in front of him. People straight to the back. Ishmael, unfortunate recipient of it. Alu also drops to the back, which is not good news for the Ferraris in their championship hold for the constructors. Audacity is still in second. He's 4/10 of a second behind This track notoriously hard to overtake on. But it's willing to cause a few crashes if people aren't paying attention. Jaguar up to 8 immediately on that soft tyre has got a fantastic start. Also taking advantage of a few people in the wall or anything of the sort. We've got Audacity right beside them here. We're going to have these two fight it out. The long way round for Audacity, possibly a switchback. Pulls himself alongside with the switchback. But Erd's going to hold that position for a slight while longer. Maybe on the next straight. Jaguar just got Heisenberg as well. So the Alfa Romeo, if there's any team game going on there, has been shot to pieces by a Haas and now a McLaren, who sits himself outside of DRS range on that Ferrari at this current time. Audacity has a real shot at coming up, especially when DRS comes in. Sets the fastest lap of the race, obviously. Audacity just too far back to make anything work at the moment. Skeldy currently 34. Audacity almost lost the rear of the car. That was almost one-stop shop straight to a DNF there for Audacity. And he's got to watch that rear end because it looks like this track is incredibly slippery and, well, things can happen. Mitchell proving that things can happen as he gets very cleanly past Yarlo without very many problems either, and now has that Alfa Romeo BR4 set directly in his sights. The championship battle could play out right here. Everyone's back here within the DRS range, minus the back two. Aston Martin and the Red Bull at the back probably will join back up to us eventually because everyone else is going at a snail's pace. And it looks like that Ferrari is clearing quite the gap on the Haas behind him, who's now being chased down quite vehemently by the soft running McLaren of Jaguar behind the Haas. Yarlo, sorry, is outside of DRS range. He was for a moment. Took me that long to say the sentence. He's back in. And when DRS comes in at the end of this lap, we might see a few things happen here. Some people might be liable to an overtake or two. Mitchell, 42.2, currently the fastest lap of the race so far, and he's going to go on down the inside of BR4! Indy almost caused the collision, went to the inside, almost certainly got a warning for it. And didn't get the position, 3-second time penalty there for the Red Bull at the back of Ishmael, and, well, Mitchell sent it on BR4, he had his chance. It also created the fact that BR4 doesn't have DRS, so possible chance here for the Ferrari again. Doesn't quite get close enough to make it work. BR4 still in and out of the DRS zone of Bambino, currently sat in third. Those on the hard tyre though. The rest of them on the medium still have to use that hard tyre at some point. Safety cars eventually happening. Oh, there's a Ferrari. Ferrari got in the background. That's Alu, who seemingly has everything in his car intact. We'll wait and see eventually. Audacity will have DRS here. Does not, obviously, when he leads the race. He's not going to be able to use the DRS as a mechanism for an overtake here, but if Ed's going to slide the car like he did on that exit, he might do down the line. You got it within 2/10 for a split second there as they go through the beginning of Sector 3, where everyone behind him has now caught back up. That Ferrari tailing a little bit off the back of the Alfa Romeo, currently sat in fourth. Penalties might play a huge factor here. We go through the final corner once again onto lap 4. DRS down this straight this time is not going to play that big of an effect. Audacity can't get past them, and everyone behind him has DRS, so no real overtaking opportunity for anyone there, as is managing to hold on at this point. And, well, he does like his racing in these kind of countries. He obviously does. Abu Dhabi last week had a good race, had a mistake that marred it, but had a good race nonetheless. He's probably going to have an outstanding race in Jeddah in a week's time. He likes those kind of races. And as they go along, the better, the bigger the chance for to make something happen here. BR4 closing in the gap on Bambino, and the gap behind him has shrunk as well, as Mitchell had his chance to overtake earlier on in the race. Probably going to have to try just bashing another chance. But we are only on lap 4, and there's a lot of well, chances that will arise. It's just a case of whether people take the yellow flag in sector 2, and there goes Alu from the session, and being in the Anderson Bridge, I think that's a safety car. It is. And that is safety car number 1. It only took us 4 laps to get it, and everyone's already bunched up, so I can't imagine this taking too long. The real question is, does anyone take the gamble from here? The hards were about 3% a lap. BR4 dummies it. Mitchell does go into the pits. So Mitchell's going to take his free pit stop now. So does Jaguar, so does Heidelberg. So it looks like a few people will play the cover game. As I said, it goes 3% a lap. Bearing in mind a couple of laps under the safety car here could possibly open the door for that free pit stop to mean something. But it's going to involve some people having to do a lot of overtaking. So, bearing in mind we start again on, well, probably lap 7. 3% a lap, or would be 24 laps, push you almost into the range of puncture level, but should still be fine. Those on the hards couldn't afford to pit here, praying for a safety car in the middle of the race somewhere to go on the medium tyre. If that happens and they swing it back in the favour of the people that haven't pitted here. Do I think another safety car is inevitable around here? Well, I've commentated races with 5 safety cars, and I've been a part of races with 0, so I wouldn't be able to tell you at this point. Just be throwing out a random guess if I did. But still, everyone's going to get up to the back of this safety car. Heidelberg and Scaldy the last 2. It's not going to be... Oh, in comes Audacity now. That's a rather interesting call. The safety car obviously going 1 more lap. So Audacity's coming now. I think that means that Mitchell might jump a place here. Yeah, Mitchell's going to jump a place. Up to 8 he goes. Well, it's going to be 1 lap better for Ishmael and Audacity though. Those tyres might be in a, well, slightly better shape come the end of the race. Maybe that'll play a part. I think Audacity might have missed the opportunity on the lap prior in order to hold his position. He was in second, remember. Mitchell was in the position behind Yarlow, or in front of Yarlow, sorry. So, couple of positions lost for sure, I think, by Audacity there. However, he'll still benefit if there isn't another safety car in this race by taking the free pit stop now. might be a lost opportunity here for Yarlow and for Swen as well. Oh, safety car should be coming in this lap. I don't think it'll take an entire sector for Ishmael to catch up to the back of everyone. There you go, there's the safety car in this lap message. So, started this race on pole, continues to lead this race as we head in toward lap 7. Currently the championship swinging the way of BR4, however, has the safety car gamble this early paid off for Mitchell and Co. At the back here, they may be able to take advantage if there isn't another safety car for the rest of this race. Another safety car swings it in the direction of everyone in front. It's not, and there we go. I think we're pretty much ready to go now. Herb's going to lead us back in. He's already set off. He's not really caught anyone slacking, but nonetheless, he's going to hold his position. Doesn't look like anybody got real jump on anyone else in that particular safety car restart, and I think Bloodwave is a mile and a half behind anyone else. What the hell happened there? Bloodwave doing a number on Mitchell, and I don't think anyone's going to be anyone at the back going to be quite appreciative of that. .8. How do you get that bad of a start? Obviously, I think he's going to start closing that gap in towards Swen again now, but that is not good news for Mitchell and those behind, because that gives the guys in front an instant gap to try and do something with. Jaguar further 1.4 seconds behind Mitchell as Heidenberg looking to do something to remove that McLaren. Got a fight here between Rigo and Swen. Swen and Yarlow stayed on those medium tyres, 6th lap hold at the moment. And a few of these guys probably hoping for a safety car. Had a bit of a problem there. Out the corner, slidey exit, and seemingly all over the place going through the beginning of the 3rd sector. It's allowed Bambino to take the lead of the race. And it might allow for BR4 to make some sort of move happen soon enough. Swen still on the back of Rigo behind it as well. Mitchell and Bloodwave now tacking south on the back of this train, and that's a warning there for who's gone more than 4 wheels off the track. BR4 not able to get himself close enough yet to as these three at the front, all on the hard tyre, all still have to make a pit stop. Everyone up to Bloodwave still has to make a pit stop, and the guys behind have still got to make some moves happen. The rest of the safety car, and that screws the rest of them. The rest of the guys at the back should be able to take the positions at the front of the race rather quickly. Bambino's cleared and is all over the place. He's just having a slidey car again. Saw that exit from the corner, and over the last lap or so he's been seeing a lot more slide to that car. The more slide he gets, the bigger that gap gets for Bambino, who might be able to pull enough. Mitchell 2-second gap to Jaguar, currently 8th and Scales. He currently sits at the back of the grid of everyone minus Alu. A move trying to form like an overtake's coming here, but just slightly too far back to make anything really stick. What's happening between Swen? He just dropped off the back of Rigo. I think he just about saved his car from hitting the wall there on the corner a couple of corners ago. But Swen also being hunted down pretty. Oh, there goes Bloodwave! And I was about to say being hunted down by Bloodwave. Bloodwave goes and put his car around Too much roll, too low of gear. I know that all too well from the practice earlier on, and well, that's a free position for Mitchell if he ever sees one. And he now allows him to go after Swen. Bloodwave has retired from the session. He's done it in the pit lane, so we're not going to realistically get anything. And the gap has also come back down a few pegs here. Bambino must have had a real problem, as he's now only 6/10 ahead of him when he was well out of a second. And BR4 also outside of that DRS zone, was for an ever so slight second until he got himself within 8/10 again. Or within 9/10, sorry. Top 7 all currently just tied up in a train. No one really able to do an awful lot against each other at the moment. But the Red Bull's suffering, and that might be the end of any chance they have of winning any sort of title this season. There's already a minuscule chance, but having someone DNF, the other person sat 11th, is never a good sign. We're on lap 9 now, and the longer we go, the less chance there is of that safety car that some of the guys at the front of the pack here need. Otherwise, they're going to have a long chase down the section of Mitchell and everyone behind Mitchell at this rate. So that pit lane has a tendency to be annoyingly long. Everyone here will know about that. Terminator outside of a second now. I think DRS has just come back online. Outside of a second, and he's not going to get DRS if it has come back on. And yeah, it has come back on because the rear wing of BR4 has now opened up, and same with the next 4 or 5 guys behind. Mitchell and Swen going at it here. Mitchell on the outside, Swen on the inside. Mitchell goes a bit deep. Had the inside line on the following corner against Swen and has the position as well. Manages to get it done eventually. Jaguar at the moment holding up everyone behind. Currently 1.9 seconds off the back of the pair here, who's not in DRS, of Rigo in front of them. Mitchell seemingly getting a move on so he can be in DRS range. He's not done it. So he's now got to defend a little bit here from Swen, as he's not going to get DRS, and he's going to be a little bit further behind Rigo at the end of this. Not in DRS range either on Bambino, who seemingly having a great time. Swen not so much though, as he slides out the corner and is very, very slightly on the back of Mitchell now, as he's just inside that DRS range. Bloodwave is washed. I mean, went from Monza where he did great to a streak of a couple of bad results. Mitchell now got to chase down that Mercedes, see if he can get anything to stick in the next few laps before everyone has to pit. It'll still be a good 6 or 7 laps before people have to pit here, especially on the hard tyre. You see Mitchell, well, everyone at the back, everyone further back from 6 minus Swen has pitted already, so good results could be upon those guys at the end of this. Swen out with the side of DRS. He's 1.5 seconds off the back of Mitchell and 1.7 seconds ahead of Jaguar, so he's in a little bit of a no man's land at the moment. Mitchell on the back of Rigo, and I don't think Mitchell will really care about where he is at the moment with the pits to come for everyone in front. Rigo's trying to close himself in on that Haas in front of him now, and the Haas might be suffering a little bit of tyre wear. Hems closed the gap again. It was 1.4 seconds. It's now 1.1 between him and Bambino. As Rigo, there's a little bit of time, and then gave it on the exit to Yarlo, who's still doing pretty nicely on those medium tyres. We'll have to go to hards eventually, but that's a problem for when he gets to that. Mitchell closing on here in on Rigo here. Millsy carries Pacific Rims. Oh, and Rigo has got a nice form around that corner, and is able to close in a little bit on Yarlow, who's losing time to BR4, who's not able to hold himself on the back of here at all, and Mitchell gets 3 seconds worth of time penalties, and well, that might come back to bite him at the end of this race. The penalties, the last thing you want, but they're ever so prevalent here. People still have DRS. The Ferrari's still too far back. What about Heidelberg on Jaguar here? They're going to go side by side, but Jaguar, a little bit of contact, is going to be able to hold that position. Audacity spins around Heidelberg. Ouch. And well then, that's a little bit late on the brakes from the Williams, and I can well and truly assure you that it's not going to be as the fault of the Alfa Romeo, but it's probably going to hinder its race. Yellow flag in sector 2 now. What's happened here? Scaldy and Jaguar have gone round. Still not causing of a safety car. Scaldy needs to get moving. Jaguar still able to stay in front of Jaguar, still staying ahead of Heidenberg for the moment in time, or Boba Fett. Audacity also closing in on Ishmael in front, but if it's anything to go by what we just saw, there might be a little bit of a nudge in here. He tries to get himself moving. Rigo outside of DRS now. Same with BR4, who's outside the DRS of who's managed to close the gap right into Bambino now, within a second. Audacity closing up the gap to Ishmael in front of him as well, who's 3.6 seconds behind Swen. And we set into two different sort of trains for a moment, but that's been a little bit decimated by the whole incident between Audacity and Heidelberg, followed by the Scaldy and Jaguar incident. Rigo back within DRS, but BR4 not having the same sort of luck. Actually going to have a look at versus Bambino here. Is closing it in. Bambino is still having a fun time at the front of this race, but started on pole, had a good time, had a few mistakes. His car just started sliding for the end of time, and at the same time he lost the position to Bambino, who's held it ever since. We are still heading toward the situation where people will have to pit later in this race, in about 4 or 5 laps time, I think, if you go on the hards. Going from the hards to the mediums, a little bit more if you're going, a little bit less so if you're going vice versa, which is just Swen and Yarlow, after everyone else that started on the medium tyre decided to have a gamble into the safety car. And was close again, and then with the return of his sliding car and losing a little bit of time, still closing in, but there's the 3-second penalty, which is going to be, it's going to cripple chances. That one might definitely come back to bite in the butt later on. There's BR4 still outside of DRS range. He's got it here, but the next time DRS comes in, he won't be inside. Mitchell and Rigo going at it, and Mitchell's got past. The Ferrari making his way through the pack ever so slowly, but he is doing so. He is still holding himself on the back of Yarlow, and when everyone in front of him still has to pit, it's going to be one hell of a gap. There'll be a gap between him and Ishmael in second. Oh, net P2. Unless some people can get in and out of the pits quicker than that gap. We go back to have a quick look at the fight for the lead of the race. BR4 as it stands, still closing that gap. It'll be about, 5 points he closes it in, so it'll be down to 2 as it stands as we head into Saudi Arabia and Japan. A mistake for either one, and it could be game over. And my YouTube comments are still having a stroke, and I'm not entirely sure why. Mitchell is closing in on Yarlow, who now doesn't have DRS, and Yarlow stays out. Mitchell, actually Yarlow doesn't stay out. Yarlow's coming to the pit. Just took a long time to register. Right, Mitchell not in DRS. Yarlow isn't able to come out in front of Ishmael or Audacity, so those two, when they go onto the hard tyre, had some work to do. But it means that Ishmael's up to 6 at the moment, and the guys in front of him probably won't get out in front of him either. Everyone within about first to 6 split by maybe about 10 seconds, maybe a little bit less. I think a pit stop round here is more towards the mid-25. I'm not entirely sure. Be able to see later on. Actually, let's have a quick look at the gap to the leader. It's 8.9 seconds. Thought it was a little bit more than that, but 8.9 seconds plus the penalty. We've got a few people closing in here. Separate BR4 and separated to the guy in front by pretty much identical times, and it was even identical for a split second there. A few people still trying to do something. Audacity on Ishmael still there as they go through the DRS zone now and then into the beginning of sector 3. As the guys at the front here tagging themselves away through the middle of sector 3 under the bridge. No one goes in for the pit stop yet. A couple of laps away from that. They are desperately hoping for a safety car at this point, because I don't think it's a gap they'd be able to close down. But penalties are going to help them, that's for sure. Take whatever gap Mitchell has and take 3 seconds away from it. Jaguar just picked up 3 seconds, the 4th one of the day. Yeah, Heidelberg actually closing in down real well here. They're going to go through sector 1. We're going to actually watch this battle. Getting a little bit better on the exit. Really close, but not really able to get it just yet. DRS should help him if he can get a good exit here. He's got a decent one. He's closing it in. He's going to continuously close it in. He's going to pull himself alongside Jaguar here. And he's going to be past him before the corner even hits. So that's a good move there. With the use of DRS for Heidelberg, jumps up to 8th. And has a long way to go to catch Audacity, who he actually had an incident with a few laps prior. Bearing in mind that people still have to pit at the front here. Outside of DRS now, and Bambino, he's just not been able to keep it consistent so far this race. Bambino has, and that's been literally the difference between the two of them so far. BR4 and Mitchell are going to go at it. Rigo tacked himself on the back of this. Mitchell's already had his pit stop. BR4 got a couple of laps more before he makes his. Oh, and that's Bambino! Bambino's gone round, and is currently the one in the lead, and there goes BR4 down the inside, and maybe Mitchell as well. BR4 covers a cross box, and they're going to box in, and Mitchell, into second. BR4 takes the lead of the race, and Bambino on the final corner, much like Bloodwave did earlier, with a terrible mistake, just too much throttle again, not high enough gear. Unless they've gone too much to the inside or got too much curb, either one can cause quite the spin there. And what looked promising for Bambino, where he might have had to fight through a few people, but nonetheless would have looked promising, has turned into a nightmare as he's dropped to the back of the grid. I don't think a few people are going to be complaining with the 3 positions. The 2 Mercedes currently sat 3rd and 4th. Be a great day for the Mercedes and constructors at the moment, if they can keep it like this. Oh, something happened there, and might have just pushed the Mitchell around. Mitchell's gone round. He's got to be fine anyway, but he's now going to have Ishmael to fight with. Guys in front of him still have to pit. But that might have been a little bit dangerous there from the Mercedes. We'll wait and see. I didn't get a great camera angle because for some reason it was having the front wing camera angle on the Mercedes car and wasn't showing me the car in front. So all I know is that Mitchell was round in that corner. I don't know if he went himself or was touched, but I heard the clang of the Mercedes car. And BR4 now all of a sudden had to wipe the gap to Mitchell. It's about 4 seconds. Mitchell doesn't appear to have any damage. It doesn't look like he does have any damage. Let's have a look. Mitchell doesn't really... Shut up, Melody. And then... I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think the hards go. Mitchell, I don't think Mitchell will have to pit again. I think he might be playing with fire a little bit, but I don't think he has to pit again. I think even with the tires being a little bit damaged, you can still drag your way around here and not get overtaken by somebody. Because it is relatively hard to overtake around here. Rigo looks like he's a little bit slidey behind, currently in second place behind BR4. These guys taking these hard tires as long as they physically can by the looks of it. Terminator and Jaguar pit. They both went to the back of the grid. I think it was Jaguar having a little bit of a problem though. Definitely had damage. Not entirely sure what happened with it, but I guess we'll get an explanation later on. Ferrari's closing down the Mercedes again, and well, here we go. We're about to see how much of a gap that Mitchell can create here, because in comes BR4 and in comes Rigo. Ishmael currently sat second, Audacity in third. That gap has extended quite a decent way. And the two at the top have penalties, so Audacity might be able to force himself in here at some point. BR4, they're going to come out now. How far is he going to be back? Is Scaldy going to get in front? Scaldy is indeed going to get in front. Is Yarlow going to get in front? Yes, he is. And that is where BR4 is going to slot himself into, I'm pretty sure. Just in front of Swen, and I think Rigo is going to do the same thing. Even though Swen is about to overtake Rigo, we'll catch this one on camera, and maybe Rigo fights back. Maybe there's a little bit of a contact there, and Rigo's going to have the inside, and Bambino's going to try something of his own. He pulled them alongside, and now Rigo looks like he's a little bit boxed in. Oh, and Bambino's in the wall! Oh, that's a safety car. And well, whether or not Mitchell had to pit again is something you might have debated originally, but there's your late safety car. Well, mid to late safety car. Oh, that looked to, well, giant collision between the two Mercedes and the Haas there. Bambino's out, so we're down 3. People have penalties, and those penalties are now going to be exacerbated by the fact that everyone's going to be bunched up again. Now, do they choose to pit? Mitchell went about 4 laps on the medium tyres. I'd probably go back on them. Mitchell does seem to be going into the pits. I don't think you can do 12 laps on the soft, so I think it would have to be the medium tyre. In comes Ishmael. Bearing in mind, BR4 just pit. Yarlow, not long pit. In comes Heidelberg as well. I think Scaldy will be one to join them. Unless Scaldy's going to play the danger game. And nope, Scaldy's going to come into the pits and join them. So, are they going to get out in front of those guys? What about Yarlow? He comes around the pit now. He's going to be there. Mitchell, they see him in front. Mitchell going to come out in second place. I think Ishmael's been caught by BR4. He has. Well then. Everyone under the safety car, and Yarlow, who definitely doesn't have to pit again, is the current race leader. Mitchell has a 3-second penalty, and people like BR4 brought back into this race because of Bambino's DNF. Without the safety car, Mitchell had a cruise control race to the end. Sven just got 5 seconds for ignoring the yellow flags. I can only assume that's an illegal overtake. Audacity, you can't well, Audacity does overtake Riga. I'm not entirely sure he's allowed to. He's gonna, what, maybe back himself up? Yep, and allow Riga to go by. Rigo can't overtake Audacity now, which is impressive. Someone's getting a penalty there, I think. But everyone is on the tire they'll go to the end of the race on now. Probably go racing again at maybe the end of this lap, maybe the beginning of the end of the next one. We'll wait and see how close Jaguar can get to the back of this grid. We're down 3. But people in the 3 seconds is going to be one to watch out for towards the end of this race. Yarlo currently leads the way, and he will lead us back into the when it comes to safety car restart time, which might be right now. Maybe. No, it's not. It's going one more lap. It turned out Jaguar couldn't quite get on the back of everyone else quickly. So one more lap under the safety car. We will go racing again with 10 laps left of the race. Now BR4 immediately had behind Mitchell. Yarlo got to do some defending. If Mitchell could get past Yarlo, he might be able to create that 3-second gap. If not, we might see the titles, might see a closing of the gap in the title race. BR4 currently sits himself third, will be ahead of Mitchell at the very least. With the 3-second penalty, I think Mitchell would drop behind Audacity. Or really close to Audacity anyway. I should have a look to the leader. Mitchell would drop behind Audacity at the moment. So all the way to what would be, he would drop to 4th. So it would be, what, 6 points would be closing in at this point, if it was to end as it is under this safety car. It would mean that we're going into Saudi Arabia next week. The title would be separated by a singular point. I think fastest lap is in the direction of Mitchell at the moment. Nope, fastest lap is actually currently in the possession of Yarlo, who is currently your leader of the race. To have a quick look at the penalties. We're going in at the end of this lap, so let's go back on Yarlo, as he's going to be the one that leads us in. He's going to lead it in. The real question is, when is he going to choose to go? Mitchell's right on the back of him, ready for him to go. He'll fall a little bit further back. Does it look like he's not going to go now? Oh, that looked like he almost lost that car there, Yarlo. He's going to go now instead, and Mitchell's been caught sleeping. He's sleeping at the wheel. And I think that opens the door for BR4 here, and there's Audacity going in the background to lost his place to Rigo. BR4 not able to get Mitchell. Mitchell was caught severely sleeping there. Mitchell was in a deep sleep at the beginning of that safety car, the safety car restart. Yarlo had a good run when he chose to go, that was, and well, DRS will be a few laps away. He's also really close now to Yarlow, who's got some defending to do, and oh, that's a bit of a collision there between Swen and Rigo. There's a lot for Audacity to come back through, and oh, there's a collision between the Mercedes. And that causes them to drop a few positions, and everyone is just shaking up all over the place. BR4 also got past Mitchell in the same process, so that could not have gone worse off the start of this safety car restart for the current championship leader. We have a four-way fight for the lead. The current championship leader could be missing out big time. Especially if BR4 hits the lead of this race. We'll leave us 2 races left of the season and a Ferrari playing catch-up. Looked like Ishmael had a bit of a problem there. Yeah, Ishmael had a lot of a problem there. Lost all the gap to Mitchell, and it's turned into a three-way fight at the front, and well, maybe, just maybe, oh, they're fastest lap to BR4 as well, so that's another point swing in the favour of the Alfa Romeo. As it stands, Audacity is the only one with a penalty within range. We've got a few things to go here. A few laps to go, and this Ferrari's got to do something. He needs DRS badly. Also needs, well, Ferrari's point of view, a collision in front, but it doesn't look like he's going to get that. BR4 and Yarlow going to go fighting, but it's looking very good for the Alfa Romeo, I'll say that for sure. Yarlow currently on the hard tyre versus the medium tyre. Oh, Yarlow! Yarlow's had a problem! Yarlow's all over the place, and now Yarlow and BR4 are literally inside each other. Yarlow goes sliding again. And that's BR4 in the lead of the race. And this could not have gone from bad to worse for the Ferrari. The Alfa Romeo should be in cruise control from here. Ferrari's got to get a move on. Ferrari's got to get Yarlow quickly, otherwise he might be at lose a few places here. Mitchell doesn't seem to be catching up. If anything, he's losing it. Yarlow's holding his own at the moment. DRS is going to be enabled now, so Ferrari's got to get a move on, or he's going to start sliding backwards. He's on better laps than the guy, better tyres than the guy behind, and BR4 is very much clear. BR4 1.3 seconds clear in the lead of the race. Yarlow had it all under control, and there was no real way for BR4 to get past him until he made his own mistake, his own error, and it was a very, very costly one. And, well, Ishmael and Audacity are fighting it, and the Red Bull's going to hold him off for a slight bit longer. He had switched back there from the Williams, and it might be that he's got enough on it. They're going to go too wide here. That's a little bit of cut the inside for the Williams. He's going to hold the position, and he's actually not going to hold the position, but he is going to get the position. They're on the Red Bull, who, well, he's going to lose a few positions himself to penalties later on. Mitchell 1.3 seconds ahead of Audacity, and nowhere near clear of Rigo either. As it stands, Mitchell's going to finish off the podium. Swen gets 3 seconds extra. He added to his 5 seconds he did get earlier on in the race for speed in the pit line. Rigo closing in on Ishmael as well. Well, not having the greatest of times on these medium tyres. We've got like 8 laps of the race left, 7 laps of the race. And we are slowly but surely running out of time here at the Singapore Grand Prix. And there goes the McLaren! And there goes Jaguar! Ishmael loses the position to Rigo at the same time. As the spin happened in the background. Oh, Ishmael having just lost his car entirely there. Not enough for a spin, but enough to lose a lot of position, a lot of time. And Mitchell just losing ground repeatedly on the Alfa Romeo and the Haas in front of him. He's got to get a move on. 1.7 seconds and 2.3 further back to Rigo. They're both within Mitchell's penalty slot. Mitchell dropped to 5th as it stands. BR4 winning the race, Mitchell in 5th. That'd be a 15-point swing, so, well, plus the extra point for the fastest lap, 16-point swing. It would be one hell of a day for the Alfa Romeo, but we're not done yet. Still a long way to go. Safety car could switch things up again. Maybe a late one helps out someone else. Skeldy drops the position to Terminator in the background. Ferrari's continuously losing time, and the two behind him are charging him down. I assume Mitchell has to have done damage. This is the only way he's this slow. But he is nowhere near as slow. He's got the same tyres and worse tyres, if anything. Well, better tyres than the guy behind him. So, I can only assume Mitchell has damage. Doesn't look awfully evident from the front of his car. Maybe it's something to do rear wing, but the thing that happened with earlier on is well and truly kicked him for 6th. And Rigo closing in on Audacity here, and they're going to go too wide. Before the corner even happens, he's got better tyres than Mitchell, so he might be able to close that gap down and get him on track. This time, last season, he had BR4 getting in the way of his teammate as we had a championship fight. But this time, this season, it is between Mitchell and BR4 for the title. Rigo closing Mitchell down quite rapidly. I think Mitchell's lost all grasp on anything other than 5th place in this race, and a large swing of points. Championship title swung at the yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. That's him. It's not enough for a safety car. But that's him going round. Swan going to try and get himself past here, and Heidenberg and Skeldy have a chance later on, and there's the fastest lap for BR4, 1:41.2. Rigo, there's 41.202. There's enough. That's a point, I guess, in the right direction if you're Mitchell, but there's still a lot that can happen here. These four are still going to go at it. Rigo closing in on Mitchell himself. Yellow flag in sector 1. There goes Skeldy. Again, not enough to crash out the race and not enough to cause a safety car. There's still a three-way battle going on here. Heidenberg going to get a few positions, but not enough to move him up anywhere other than above Swen. Ishmael also going to move up. Well, he's not going to move up a position. He's going to stay where he is. But he's going to end above Swen regardless. Mitchell, 1.6 seconds off of the ahead of Audacity. That 3-second gap. He's got to get himself in the position to be like 5 points to behind, rather than on what was a significantly stronger track. You would have fought for Mitchell. He said before the race it's his favourite track. Incidents and so on, safety cars pulled it away from him. And what looked like it would have been dominant for a slight second, and then everyone pitted, and the next lap was a safety car. Rigo at the moment going to be on the podium because of it. Rigo, 40.7, sets the fastest lap of the race so far. That point's not heading in the direction of the Alfa Romeo. Yellow flag in sector 3, Skeldy. Is it enough for Nope, he's not out the race. We are running out of time for a virtual safety car or a safety car of any size, safety car of any kind, sorry. And the gap between Audacity and Mitchell not going away. Is Yalo going to get chased down by Rigo by the end of this? Last time anyone said anything like this, Rigo got jinxed into high heaven. Ishmael and Heidelberg going at it. It looks like the Red Bull still going to have the inside line. These two, well, the Red Bull slides. It's allowing the Alfa Romeo to go on through. So Heidelberg up to 7th. 1.6 seconds now between Mitchell and Audacity. Audacity losing it into the bridge section. Mitchell 3 seconds behind Rigo, who is closing in like a bullet here on Yalo as Rigo looks to set himself on this podium. And we might be watching Rigo get his first podium of the season. He was denied in Spain by his own incompetence. It doesn't look like he's going to be denied in Singapore. I say this, he's definitely still got a spin in him. Usually happens. We'll see later on. Maybe there's an incident that comes between him and Yalo. It is possible. We'll see if Rigo's going to try and make a move as we go along. But BR4 has got this on the wraps. It's done and dusted for him. He will win this race unless he got a mistake on his own up his sleeve. The mistake now would be extremely costly, especially when you're in position for a race win. You can't have mistakes in the position for a race win. So BR4's got to bring it home. Mitchell still 1.5 seconds ahead of Audacity and will still lose that position, but only that position. It's still Rigo and Yalo going at it here. They're going to go halfway through lap 29. And DRS is going to be in play. Safety car, the ability to have a safety car is non-existent now. BR4, 4.7 seconds in the distance. And nobody's going to challenge him. We're going to go around the final sector watching the actual challenge between second and third. Championship just swung in with 2 races left of the season. It's not in the favour of the Ferrari anymore, but in the favour of the Alfa Romeo. As we hit lap 30 of 31, here the Mercedes is still attempting to charge down this Haas on far worse tyres. Rigo just got a huge warning. That's for sure. Going way too deep into that corner and not coming back onto the track. But he's going to get DRS here. He's going to have a second shot. He's going to get maybe 2 more chances. Realistically, to try and attack Yalo before the end of this race. Terminator's come into the pits. And Rigo's not going to be able to get him there. He is well and truly running out of time if he wants to be on the second step of the podium. Worst case scenario, he's on the third step of the podium, actually. Worst case scenario, these two come together. The realistic scenario that these both be on the podium in second and third. They're going to go through now. Rigo right on the top. And he might have just clipped the back of Yalo there, Rigo, and almost opened the door. Not only for himself to go on through. Oh, and Yalo almost squashed him into a wall there. Rigo did hit the wall nonetheless. Yellow flag is for Skildy as he's going to end 11th, the only one that finishes not in the points. And Rigo had his chance, and he was a little bit overzealous. Audacity within a second now of Mitchell's just struggled since the safety car. Well, since the incident with Terminator, is more of a pinpointed time. to where his struggles were, and that's another warning there for Rigo, who's just not having a good time in turn 2. As Rigo, well, if you're the Ferrari, you're hoping for a crash or a couple of crashes. But if you're these two, Rigo's too far back. Rigo's way too far back, and Yalo might be able to hold on to second here. It's been an extraordinary run from Yalo today. BR4, well and truly just coasting to the line now. Jaguar gets Ishmael in the beginning of the second sector. And Rigo's a little bit all over the place here. Yalo seemingly in control of this second position. Flashing red light on the back of that Mercedes, and that is it. That's the last shot. That was the last shot. Rigo couldn't make it count. Rigo won't be stepping onto the second step of the podium, but in fact only settled for the third step of the podium, a podium nonetheless. But BR4, one more obstacle to go. Will he get to on the fall too early? He will not. He's got to go around the final corner, and BR4 with 2 races left on the calendar takes the lead of the championship as he takes home the win in Singapore. Yalo gets second, Rigo gets third, Audacity gets fourth, Mitchell over the line for fifth, and what will be a incredibly disappointing day for him. Heisenberg did it at sixth, as it's an extremely good day for the Alfa Romeos. Swen in 7th, Jaguar in 8th, Ishmael in 9th, Erm's going to end in 10th, and Scalzi the only one without points that finished. And we'll watch Scalzi go to the line, and well, what that happened there, the safety cards helping rather than well, the second safety car helping everyone that pitted back out, and Scalzi gets 3 seconds just for putting salt on the wound, essentially. BR4's not going to do an interview. He said he'll do the last one of the season. Big incidents happened there, and well, Audacity might lose the position because of his hit on Heisenberg, so that might be points there for the Ferrari, and the gap not be as big for the Alfa Romeo. Anyone else in front now, everyone else has saved unless Rigo gets something for the collision with Bambino, which could be entirely possible, might open the door for a 10-point swing. Either way, there's no real scenario where Mitchell can come out of Singapore leading the title. So your new championship leader going into Saudi Arabia next week is well and truly BR4. It's just a case of by how many, and they lead the constructors as well after a horrific day for the Ferraris. There's a lot that changes out there. that was a huge race in terms of the championship. Like, that has tipped everything on its head. As we know, there were 2 races left of the season, one in Jeddah, which is a yeah, the one in Jeddah, which is still a wheel-dominated circuit, and then one in Japan, which might be either way. There's a lot that happened championship-wise, but just waiting to see if we can get an answer for interviews. But yeah, I don't think we are getting interviews, so I think I'm going to leave it with this screen. That is a huge turning point in the championship. Peace.